My name's Shelley, MacKenzie. I'm the School Liaison Manager at North East Scotland College, and I've got Lynne Brown and Karen Youngson, our Foundation Apprenticeship Programme Officers, with me tonight as well. So what we're here to do is just give you a very brief taste of what the provision at college is all about, the part-time provision at college. And, oh, I recognise another face as well. I'm recognising a few different faces here this evening. What I wanted to ask is, could you show me, can I get a show of hands for any current S3 parents? Okay. And for any current S4 parents? And current S5 parents? Okay, so, right, Go. Run out of breath.
Go. It's like speed dating this.
Yes, it is. Trying to remember what I would have said here so far. So North East Scotland College is a regional college. We offer courses currently to about 8,000 full-time students. We have campuses at Aberdeen City Campus beside John Lewis's in town, Aberdeen Alton's campus, Fraserburgh, and the Scottish Maritime Academy as well up in Peterhead. So we're a regional college providing services that are all about preparing young people for the world of work. Are you recording me? Our school college link programme is a range of courses that youngsters can do part-time as part of their senior phase timetable, where they would come to college generally 2 afternoons a week. And while they're at college, they are working towards a qualification that is all about preparing them for the world of work, developing essential skills for certain sectors, but not just necessarily streamlining them or pigeonholing them into particular jobs or careers, but it's all about developing transferable skills that they can take into a range of different sectors. So say, for example, I might have somebody say, I desperately want to be a hairdresser when they're in S3 going into S4, they come to college and do a hairdressing course. They come to college and decide that, do you know what, I've had to be on my feet all day, I've had to be smiling nicely to people all day, I've had to be chatting to people all day, and I'm in a foul mood and I don't want to do this. So they discover that this isn't a career that they want to follow at all. So they don't follow that career. But what they have done is they have developed skills in customer service skills, in numeracy, in communication skills. They've developed a lot of transferable skills they can take into the workplace and that they can talk about in their CV or a personal statement or a job application. So we're preparing young people for the world of work, because to be fair, they come to school, they do qualifications, and the qualifications, when it comes to writing a job application, I don't know if anyone's had to do it themselves recently, but you write a job application, you tick off your highest level of qualifications, and then you talk about your skills, your experience, what it is you've done, what your strengths are. That's the largest part of what sells you as an individual to a future employer, rather than just the qualifications. Qualifications are useful, obviously, but so essential skills are really important as well. So we are providing courses that provide a stepping stone between college and between school and adult world of work, world of further education, world of higher education. NEScol as an organisation provides courses now up to and including a degree level programme. So we're offering courses at national certificate level, level 6, which is the same level as Hires, level 7, HNC, same level as advanced Hires or first year university, and an HND, which is the same level as second year university qualifications. We also have pathways through from HNC and HND into university degrees. So young people can choose to come to college. It's actually now perfectly feasible for a young person to leave school with either no Hires and follow a pathway that can work towards a degree and achieve a degree, or get into a degree programme and achieve a degree having only got one Hire at school. So that's quite nice for youngsters to know that there are lots and lots of different pathways. It takes a little bit of the pressure off. The anxiety, the mental health issues that young people can encounter through 4th, 5th year as that exam pressure goes on can be quite challenging. So it's good to know that there are lots and lots of routes to the same end, but not necessarily having to be the traditional route of 5 Hires in 5th year straight to university. So I'm going off on a tangent. When when school pupils come to college on a part-time course, there are a few things they need to know. First of all, they will have to travel to college independently. The travel costs for that, I haven't mentioned this to anyone else actually, but the travel costs are covered by the City Council, so there are no travel costs for parents. They will have to be at college if they're fourth years doing a Skills for Work course. They will have to be at college until 4:30, 2 afternoons a week. So it's beyond the school day, so it does mean it can impact on part-time jobs or football training. If they're doing a Foundation Apprenticeship, which Lynne's going to talk about, they would have to be at college till 5 p.m, 2 afternoons a week. They also will have to be in a work placement in their 6th year, which Lynne will talk about, but that could be a full working day. That could be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m, 8:30 to 5:30, depending on what the employer's working day is like. They get treated like young adults, an adult learning environment. There are no bells. They don't have to wear their school uniform. They call the lecturer by the first name. So they get those benefits of being treated like young adults, but they also get expectations put on them as being young adults. So we expect them, if they're going to be in a workshop environment, to be wearing their boiler suit, their safety boots. If they're in a hospitality area, that they are wearing the prescribed uniform, the hair's tied up, that they're wearing what is expected by health and safety for professional reasons in that environment. And if they don't, they get sent back to school. And that sounds quite harsh, but if you're a joiner and you turn up on a building site at 8 o'clock in the morning and you don't have your hard hat or you don't have your safety boots on, you get sent home and you don't get paid for the day. That's the reality of the world of work, and that's what college is all about. It's preparing young people for that world of work. We look after them. We report on their attendance. If they're late, we report them absent. We report on behaviour. We report on their progress. They, as I said, all our courses are certificated awards, and all of them don't have an exam except for higher psychology, higher sociology, and higher computing. So that's quite nice for young people. And they, what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, subjects. Right.
Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. Come back.
So the subject areas, as you might have been familiar 20, 30 years ago with the college being the College of Commerce, the Technical College, we still have our bread and butter qualifications in joinery, wood, construction, hair and beauty and childcare, but we now also have programs in lab science, for example. The scientific technologies, life sciences is a huge area in the northeast of Scotland, and we're needing people who aren't necessarily degree qualified but have good lab skills. So we've got a lab skills course. We have the health sector course, is great for anyone aspiring to go into any of the allied health professions, about learning about patient care, patient needs, patient welfare. We have travel and tourism next year. There's going to be cruise ships going out of Aberdeen Harbour. They're Aberdeen featured in the New York Times as one of the top destinations in the world, only destination in Britain to be mentioned in their list. So travel and tourism, hospitality skills, events management skills, these are real careers that young people just now are going to be able to get into in our local area. So developing skills for them is vitally important. So I'm going to hand over to Lynne, but we have lots and lots of information on our webpage, and we're staying around at the end if you've got any questions to ask of us. And one thing else that I haven't mentioned to anyone else either is there's an application process. There isn't a guarantee that young people will get in. They're very high demand for some of our courses, so the selection process does mean that when they write a little bit about themselves, just a short paragraph, they really need to be selling themselves about how important this course could be to them, what their experience is, and why they want to do it. And that's us.
So this is definitely like speed dating. I appreciate you've had so much information tonight, and it's probably going to be difficult to retain a lot of what you've been told tonight. But even if you can just remember the words Foundation Apprenticeship and then go and look online and find out more information about it, then we've achieved our goal for tonight. There is lots of leaflets there. I'm not going to have a chance to go through all of the individual frameworks and explain them all to you in detail, so please take a leaflet there. There is also an open night at college at our Altons campus on the 25th of February and our Gallagate campus on the 26th of February. That is open for young people and parents to come along and actually see the college. It's a really good opportunity for those who haven't been in the college recently. Come in, see the facilities that are on offer, and for young people to come in and speak to people who are delivering these qualifications I'm going to talk to, and speak to young people who are actually doing the qualifications as well, because that's really valuable for them to get that exposure to that as well. Can I just check how many of you have actually heard of Foundation Apprenticeships before? Okay, not very many people in this room have actually heard of Foundation Apprenticeships. The government are doing a huge push out about them just now. It's all over North Sound Radio, it's on the television, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter. Big push out there to get parents aware of what Foundation Apprenticeship is, but also to get young people aware of what Foundation Apprenticeship involves. The schools are pushing this information out to kids as well, but the chances of them actually coming home and discussing it with you are probably quite slim. So hopefully after tonight you can go home and discuss it with them and discuss that this might be one of the options that you want to consider moving into their 5th year or their 6th year. Foundation apprenticeships are qualifications which are equivalent to a higher, and they are open to young people going into either 5th year or 6th year. And they're designed to be delivered over 2 years. And how it works is that the first year of the qualification, young person would spend the equivalent of 1 day per week in college, doing all of the theory learning behind the qualification. And then the second year of the qualification, young people would spend 1 day per week, or the equivalent of 1 day per week, in a work placement. And that's an extended work placement that will run over the duration of their 6th year. The benefits of that is that they've got to turn up to work every week, and that they are treated like a real employee while they're out at work. And that will give them really valuable skills when they're looking to go either into the world of employment, or if they're looking to apply to college, or if they're looking to apply to university in the future. It's giving them the skills that employers are looking for, because that's what a lot of young people don't have. They're not work ready, and they don't have that real life work experience. These are the frameworks that Foundation Apprenticeships are available in. You can see there's a wide range of subjects there. Some of these subjects may not be available normally in the school curriculum, so it's about giving young people the opportunity to try something different, but also if a young person knows a particular area that they want to work in, then let's give them real experience in that area. Let's teach them what it's all about, but let's actually put them out in that work placement and see what it's like, and see if that's the job that they want to do. As I say, it's designed to be delivered over 2 years. There are some of these frameworks which can be delivered over 1 year. In order to deliver a foundation apprenticeship over 1 year, a young person would need the equivalent of between 12 to 15 hours out of their school timetable. That sounds like a lot, particularly for those of you who are looking, the young people are going into 5th year. Then if they're looking at doing 3 or 4 hires in 5th year, to then have the equivalent of 2 days extra out of their school timetable is probably going to be quite difficult for them to manage. Some people might be able to do it if potentially they're only doing 1 or 2 hires, then they might be able to do that. Because in order to deliver it over 1 year, they would have 1 day per week in college and 1 day per week in a work placement. 2 of these courses cannot be delivered over 1 year, and that's engineering and civil engineering. So if any young person is considering engineering, then it would need to be somebody who's going into 5th year. If they're going into 6th year, they wouldn't be able to do that one. Because of the length of the course and the qualification that's delivered, it requires 2 full years in order to deliver that qualification. What we wouldn't want is young people going into that and then at the end of 5th year deciding they're not going to stay on at school. They then don't get the qualification at all because it can't be delivered over the 2 years. So you can see some of these subjects here. If you have a young person who's potentially looking at going into teaching, then it might be really good for them to choose, instead of one of their hires, to choose a foundation apprenticeship in social care, children and young people. They would get really valuable skills from doing that course that they may not get from doing one of their other hires. So we're not saying these are better than hires by any means. They sit alongside hires. And again, like the other school links courses, there is no exam at the end of these qualifications, which for young people when they're taking hires, the pressure builds. There's a lot of pressure on young people these days to get those results. This takes the pressure off them slightly in that they don't have an exam at the end of it. That does not mean it's an easy option for them. It is the equivalent of a hire, and they have to be capable of working at a higher level. So we are looking for young people who are capable of getting a hire and capable of sitting that exam, but it just takes away that final exam for them at the end of it. Oh, I think we've actually got, before they knock the door, that's the first time we've done that tonight. Every time they're hiring,
obviously forgotten something really important.
I clearly have, and I think I know what it is, but it's all right.